Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. I am back this week with a shorter video, but one that is so fitting for this time of year, I think. It's very fall inspired, and I hope you guys love and enjoy this soup as much as our family does. So this video is a just easy soup recipe for this time of year, especially if you live somewhere where it's starting to get a little bit chilly in the evenings. And something really fun about this video is part of a collaboration that's going on this month in September, and the collaboration is a Souptember collaboration. And so basically 30 of us ladies have gotten together and we'll be sharing a recipe or a new video, one lady every single day for the whole month of September. I know we're a little over halfway through, but I'm going to be linking the playlist down below so you guys can check it out and check out all the wonderful recipes that are being shared this month as we head into the colder season. So now getting into my soup, I am making white chicken chili today. This is one of our family's favorite recipes in the colder season. It's so filling and warm and just makes you feel quite amazing inside. It is just full of good nutrients and just packed with good things. But I am getting started by cooking my chicken, and this is how I love to start my soups. So I'm making my own homemade broth. I have one small chicken that I'm cooking in a Dutch oven along with onions, garlic, some carrots, and a little bit of celery. Of course, you can use whatever you have on hand. That's kind of what I do. And then I cover almost all the chicken with water, and I'm going to be simmering it for about 6 hours to make my chicken broth before I actually start working on my soup. I love how this makes such a rich and delicious chicken broth. Here I'm adding in just a little bit of salt, and it also just makes your house smell so good. Like, I don't know, it smells amazing. And of course you could use bought-in chicken broth for this too. So if you're wanting to do this recipe, keep it a little simpler and not make your own chicken broth, by all means go ahead. That totally works as well. You're gonna want some cooked chicken then and chicken broth to start out with, and then I will catch up with you guys once I actually start putting my soup together and once my chicken has been cooked and I have my broth. Another thing I like to do for this soup is I use white beans in the soup, and you can use canned, but I like keeping dry beans on hand. So when I start my chicken broth, I also start soaking my dry beans so that they take less time to cook and that they cook faster when I go to cook them a little bit later on when I put my soup together. So we are going to fast forward about 6 hours. My chicken broth is ready, and you could honestly simmer this overnight. Like, you could have this going for more like 12 hours, but this is what I'm working with today. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my chicken and start shredding it for soup. This process takes a little bit of time, but the chicken is so soft and really delicious in soups. So I'm going to go ahead and shred this, and then once I'm done with that, I am going to strain my broth, get all like the cooked carrots and celery and all that stuff out of it because I did that just for flavor. And then I will come back with a clean pot for the soup and my broth and my chicken all shredded and ready to go, and then I can kind of start assembling things and actually making the soup itself. So I strained my broth and I cleaned my Dutch oven. I love using a Dutch oven for soup, but I do like to kind of clean it after I've cooked the chicken and everything in it. So I did that, and then I'm just going to take my kitchen scissors and go through and cut up this chicken, kind of to make sure that it's all in fairly manageable, like bite-sized pieces. Obviously, you can do this a different way, but I will say having a kitchen scissors makes it so easy and simple to kind of just make sure it's nice, like shredded, cut up, and to be able to assemble your soup really quick. I'm going to go ahead and add in my prepared chicken and then also add in my beans. They are cooked well now. I cooked them and I didn't really show what I did, but I basically cover them in water after they're done soaking, like rinse them, cover them in water, and simmer them on the stove until soft. I don't have a recipe exactly for how to do it, but that is what I do. I'm gonna also be adding in some onions and garlic because I think this adds such a great flavor to the soup. And I will say the original recipe is not my recipe for this soup, so I'm going to include a link down below where you guys can find that. I kind of tweak it for what we like, and today especially I was making a large batch of soup because I wanted to be able to freeze some to pull out once our baby arrives, kind of as like an easy freezer baby meal, especially because this soup is so just like filling, warming, all that kind of thing. So I think it's going to be a great thing to have on hand. So that's why I'm making an especially large batch today, but I will include the link down below for the original recipe that has all the measurements and stuff if you want to make kind of a smaller batch, or you kind of want to see what exact measurements look like for this recipe. Today I did not have time to bake with everything that I was doing, but something that is really delicious with this soup is fresh bread, or if you can or have it, fresh sourdough. It is so good. We also like to add shredded cheese to our soup, like serve it with that. So that's another option that you can serve with this soup that makes it absolutely delicious. And it, like I said, perfect for this time of year, for this season. I love fall and winter because I love making all the soups, and I'm super thankful that my family loves soups as well, because it makes it a lot more enjoyable to be able to make large, warm pots of soup for all of us to enjoy together. Last but not least, I'm adding in my seasonings and herbs. I'm adding in some oregano and then some dried cilantro. The original recipe calls for fresh cilantro, but I barely ever have that on hand when making this, so I sub it out for some dried cilantro and not quite as much as what the original recipe calls for. I'm also going to add in some salt and pepper to taste, and some cumin, and then a little tiny bit of cayenne pepper. I think also the original recipe calls for some green chilies or something like that. I leave that out as well because it's something that I don't frequently have on hand, and we just love the soup without it. So those are all things that are adjustable to your taste preferences, but this really is such an easy recipe. It makes such a delicious soup, and the ingredients are fairly simple things that typically you can have on hand. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today as I made some soup for us, and hopefully you guys can try this recipe, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as we do. Don't forget to check out the collaboration playlist in the description box. I know you guys will enjoy seeing all the other recipes that ladies are sharing this month, and hopefully it'll give you some great inspiration for these colder winter months ahead. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week until I see you guys again with a new video. Bye guys.